Good day, Ms. Canlas and Mr. Clavero. I am Sebastian Carl P. Soriano, and I will be discussing to you the introduction of our research entitled Senior High Mag-ingay! The Readiness of ABM Senior High School Students for Employability. One of the academic track in K-12 program is ABM, or more known as Accountancy Business Management. And according to the DepEd data last 2016, there are 219,313 students who are enrolled in this track. And for the major subject of this track that will help all of the students, we have Fundamental of Accountancy Business Management, Entrepreneurship, Work Immersion, Business Finance, and Organizational Management. Along with the long run of secondary education, the main aim of the system is to help all of the students to excel in their preparation for higher education. Not only just that, K-12 program also helps students to strengthen their skills, enhance their abilities, and discover their talents for them to be ready and competent for their future job. And according to the DepEd Order number 30 series of 2017, they have to be part of work immersion program wherein they have to comply 80 hours to 340 hours on the job training. This experience will help all of the graduating students to have an opportunity to reach the limited standards of some institution. The study aims to determine the level of proficiency of ABM senior high school students in terms of their subjects, especially in finance and accounting. This will determine their level of skills and understanding whether if they are ready or not. And also the main objective of this research is to determine the effectiveness of K-12 curriculum. However, the parents and students are questioning the effectiveness of K-12 curriculum because DepEd said that after graduating or finishing the senior high school year, you are now capable of working. But other companies are requiring a degree. They are requiring the students to finish college. But we all know that not all of the students are capable to go to college because of financial problems and so. And that's why we conducted this research.
Good day, I'm Julie Pearl F. Adante and I'll be discussing all the RRLs indicated. These RRLs had supported and motivated our research with its objective. Starting with, Enderun Colleges expounded that the ABM strand is an advantage in studying assets, profitability, finance, and more skills-related practicable and preparing them to the corporate world. Even Acosta stated the same benefit of the K-12 basic education. In contrast, NEDA or National Economic Development Authority publicized that 5.7% increase occurred in the unemployment rate, also revealing the 14.7% of youth unemployment. Supporting the fact, JobStreet reported that out of 75,078 job listings, only 60 jobs are available for the senior high school graduate, showing that most companies are demanding more skills and high standards for the applicants and prefer to choose higher education graduates, yet not fully trusting the employability preparedness of the senior high school graduate.
So, good day. I am Carla Mivi Fernandez and I am here to discuss the methodology of our research. So, first thing is the research design that we utilizes here in our research. We use a non-experimental, evaluative, or assessment research design. This type of research design uses test questionnaires to collect data. Next is the sample and the sampling technique of the research. So, the research uses a random sampling technique by means of Yamane's formula. Through this Yamane's formula, we are able to get the number of samples that we needed. And in our research, the number of respondents are limited to 169 grade 12 students of Accountancy, Business, and Management in Adamson University. So as we all know, random sampling technique is a sampling technique wherein every member of the population has an equal chance of becoming the sample. And every individual is chosen randomly, wherein these samples chosen are meant to be the unbiased representation of the population. So, as I have mentioned earlier, our research design uses a test questionnaires to collect data. So, for our research instrument, we uses a combination of examination of finance and accounting. This research instrument was ensured to be validated by the experts in the field of accounting and finance. Moreover, first, the researchers made the table of specification as the basis for the test questionnaire. Then next, it was made sure that the content and the order of items is according with the Bloom's taxonomy model. Let's now move on with the data gathering procedure. So for the data gathering procedure, before the researchers conduct the examination, they first assess the vacant of each ABM class in grade 12 within the second week of March. So we, the researchers, had to assess when is the vacant of every ABM class so that we can look after them while they are answering the examination, so that any means of cheating can be avoided, so there will be no faulty data gathering. During the examination, the researchers ensure that they have given the sufficient instruction for the respondents, and attached to the exam is the consent letter for the participants asking for their voluntary participation for the research. So after the examination, test scores were tallied. These test scores are considered to be the raw data for this research. So they were tallied so that we can get the frequency count for every data, and then after that they were interpreted and analyzed statistically. Next is data analysis and statistical treatment of the research. So data were analyzed statistically, specifically through inferential analysis, wherein results from the samples are generalized for the whole population. So the data were analyzed and interpreted statistically using frequency, percentage, mean, and the one-way ANOVA. So for the ethical consideration of the research, first, the participants should not be subjected to harm in any way, and their full consent must be obtained. In accordance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012 or the Republic Act 10173, protection of privacy, confidentiality, and anonymity of the participants should be ensured. This research also should be done with honesty and transparency. In all means, the research specifies prioritizing the human rights of the participants involved in the research. That would be all, and let's now move on for the next part of the video presentation.
Research topic coincides with the idea of assessing the effectiveness of the K-12 curriculum. As the program states, its curriculum exits according to the Department of Education, the researchers studied on the notion whether the senior high school students could attest to the competency for higher education, employment, entrepreneurship, and middle-level skills deployment. The study focused on employability part, specifically to address the concern on our review of related literature, which is statistically the influence of employability preparedness of senior high school to companies is low. It is a fact in reality that not all students could afford going to tertiary education. Factors revolving around this includes youth unemployment and company-specific preferences. The most sought answer to this is actually producing holistically developed Filipinos with 21st century skills. As ABM senior high school students, and one of the key components of our economy comes from the business industry, it is only considerable working in this area of employability, specializing on our field. The effectiveness of the K-12 curriculum relies on the competencies which involves advancing students with adequate time for the intelligence and skills of concepts, enhanced learnings, shaping graduates to tertiary education, and the refinement of employment and entrepreneurship. The salient features offered by the K-12 curriculum focuses on the proficiency of today's students to 21st century skills. In short, the curriculum itself thinks of the enhanced skills and the quality of education as the main component of its effectiveness, whereas stated, it is the four exits of basic education. For the employability part, the knowledge and skills gained by the students makes them be able to be fit in a job, thus making the researchers use knowledge and skills as the key variables tested in the study.
I am Patricia Mercader and I would be answering the question, are the two subjects enough to determine the readiness of an ABM student for employment? My answer is yes. Finance and accounting subjects are enough to be the basis of assessing the readiness of an ABM student, applicable to the choice of course and work in the future. Those are specialized subjects for ABM students only, and as an ABM student, those subjects are the most important when we go to work because our job would be from the application of finance and accounting, which some are journal entries and adjusting entries, and that is where we are trained as a track. Question is, what are the specific topics that you included in the exam? Yes, accounting and finance covers a wide scope, but we only included the topics that we think would determine their knowledge and skill, such as the basic, of course, introduction to accounting and finance, the basic terms, worksheet of adjusting entries, analysis and interpretation of financial statements, and lastly, the business transactions and their analysis such as rules of debit and credit, journalizing, and posting. Thank you so much.
So good day, Miss Canlas and Sir Glabero. I'm Sais Latado and here to answer the question number 5. And it says here that, how are you supposed to extract the data from the exam you made? So to extract the data from the exam by the data analysis and statistical treatment, which will be using percentage, frequency, mean, and one-way ANOVA to analyze and interpret of the data. The percentage will be used to determine percentage distribution of personal-related variables of the respondent. And also the mean will be the average or central number of data set. While the frequency is the number of times that the particular data value occurs into the data sets. While the ANOVA will be the interpretation of the data sets. If the absolute value is greater than the critical value, we reject the null hypothesis, conclude that there is significant difference between the means of the population. Otherwise, accept the null hypothesis or fail to reject the null hypothesis.
The researchers could be specialized subjects used to determine the knowledge and skills of the respondents. Yes, accounting and finance may potentially be two of the main subjects in taking the ABM strand, but relating to those two alone for employability may take up more subjects in the curriculum than expected, as there are lots of opportunities in the ABM strand like marketing and business. Readiness for employment may also be included in the curriculum of subjects like work immersion, and business ethics and social responsibility. Given the chance to finish the study, the researchers could cover the whole curriculum guide for the accounting and finance subjects, focusing more on the foundational lessons needed for the students' employability skills. Also, considering the time restriction for the semester, there are lots of potentials in this study because it aims to evaluate the K-12 program under the ABM strand. There are broad scope of educations and skills to be tackled and extracted from the respondents or the students. Recommendations include the school academic administration to manage the time each semester wisely, considering that the specialized subjects are constricted only in grade 12. It is a must to study how the school days are being maximized in this program. Some accounting and finance subjects were also not tackled by the time the researchers give out the assessment questionnaires to the students. It is also a consideration to study how the core subjects and specialized subjects could be allotted in each semester for both grade 11 and 12. The senior high school program could also credit some of its lessons to the general education subjects in college education. Researchers are recommended to narrow down specifically the scope of the study. Industries in ABM are varieties, so future researchers could solely focus on one subject matter in the curriculum. There are diverse areas of opportunities per subject, and lessons are to be tackled. They could also focus on another track or strands in evaluating the K-12 program.
Hi, good day. My name is Hannah Cristina Esteban. To get the necessary data from the respondents, the researchers conducted an examination that covers the two core subjects in accountancy, business and management strand, which are accounting and finance. The researchers based the table of specification according to Bloom taxonomy hierarchical proposed by Benjamin Bloom on 1956. The taxonomy has 6 levels, and these are create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, and remember. However, this research limits only to 5 levels in which creating had not been included. This research limits on determining the knowledge and skills of ABM students in accounting and finance. In the study of Capuano, De Cruz et al., Bloom's taxonomy was used in accounting students from a federal higher education institution to evaluate their achieved cognitive and affective development, wherein the results revealed that cognitive and affective development were influenced by active teaching technique. They believe that a dual learning approach of theory and application will help the learners to explore all stages of learning process, and these are knowledge, analysis, evaluation, application to preparation, and development of financial plans. Based on DepEd, accounting is divided into two: fundamentals of accountancy and business management. One is introduction to accounting, business and management data analysis, and understand the basic concept and principles that will enhance the students' interest in accounting. Accountancy, business, and management 2 is the preparation for the service business and merchandising business. Related to what is claimed in the research of Drennan and Kavana, these two subjects would be able to provide students what employers are expecting for graduates of ABM strand. The readiness of ABM students for employment can be determined. The following observation from Victory Christian International School, they stated that the transition of being part of the working class from being a student could be a challenge for some. That is why work immersion subject considered as preparation for the students explore upon their chosen career. Because in preparing students for employment through immersion, they gain benefits from the experience where students can build new skills, become good team players, become financially aware at early age, and become goal-oriented. Cruz states that enterprises didn't want to employ senior high school graduates because they were too young to seek for employment. To solve, work immersion as a subject in the academic track is meant to prepare the students for college as to ensure the second objective, which is for them to have employable skills. The institutional war of proving that one has skills is to have a national certificate collaborated by DepEd and TESDA. Hernando Malipot reported that DepEd enables senior high school graduates to strike a balance between theories and practice, specifically through work immersion.
James Jose, and I will be discussing our synthesis. As claimed by the DepEd 2015, K-12 program is a 12-year basic education for the students to master the concepts and skills, develop lifelong learners, and prepare them for tertiary education in their future, which covers 6 years in primary education, 4 years in junior high school, and 2 years for senior high school. According to Sarvey, Monger, and Pillay, 2015, this became an international norm for tertiary education. A 12 years of learning that will benefit the readiness program is an enough time to acquire and enhance their knowledge and skills. In addition, United Nations 2019 stated that implementing K-12 curriculum is not only personal but also contributes to societal change. Moreover, to improve the quality life, access education can help locals equip tools that can innovatively solve the world's greatest problem. Next, the study focuses with ABM Senior High School, which means as they are going to be employed. The expected knowledge and skills will be more on business, accounting, and finance. Stated by Kadigbak 2018, the ABM strand is for the students who wants to become a future business leaders and entrepreneurs. In addition, according to Mateo 2018, the ABM strand is helpful for the students to unleash and to enhance their skills in entrepreneurial or business ventures, specifically on communication, professionalism, and decision making. On the other hand, according to Marquez 2017, the senior high school could be a solution for the mismatches for the rising number of existing jobs. Even though a senior high school could not guarantee employment, he recommended to have a certificate of competency and a national certificate for qualifications. Philippine Statistics Authority 2019 specified that employment for 2019 had reached an approximated for 41.4 million, which has the same value for 94.8% of labor force in the Philippines. NCR and Calabarzon are the two regions who are known to be one of the highest population demand. According to Mateo, there's a build-up in the employers' readiness to hire K-12 graduates. He also mentioned that there is a good enough percentage to take K-12 graduates in entry-level position doing administrative and support work, but there's a total percentage for 41% haven't decided to accept senior high school graduates. According to Business World, there are a total of 19,000 jobs who open to be able for senior high school graduates. Even though some companies are accepting and welcoming senior high school graduates for employment, there is also an increase of rejection and undecided because of the employment skills of senior high school. Since 2017, the country is exhibiting and building a strong economic growth, yet employment manifestation is low and has a percentage of 1%. According to Ballesteros and Israel 2013, the economic development and the improvement required for the employment are not compatible. Some places in Metro Manila and Makati are still not accepting senior high school graduates, in which, supported by Rutkowski 2015, companies are usually focusing on senior high school graduates, poor background, and lack of skills. Improvement and growth of the graduates are much needed to grant them success in making company decide for providing them a position. Thank you.